Welcome back to another lesson of Microsoft Excel. In this lesson, we are going to learn about all the date functions Microsoft Excel has to offer. Now, the first thing we're going to do is going to be clicking on any one of these cells. And what we're going to do is type in equal and then type in today. Now, open the parentheses and close the parentheses, nothing in between. Hit on enter and it will give you the exact date which you are working on. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind that this specific date will also keep on updating on its own. Let's say if you open this specific spreadsheet tomorrow, it will change into 12. Okay, so this is how this today function works. What we're going to do is keep it over here. And now what I'm going to do is use the function called now. Now, if you use today and now at the same time, what happens or what the difference is that when you put on now, it will give you the exact time you're working on it. Now, let's say I'm going to type in equal and type in now. Close the parentheses, nothing in between. Hit on enter and you will see that this hash will appear up. What you're going to do is just extend this width and it will give you the exact result of the time and also the date at the same time. Now, the function we're going to use is going to be day, month, year, and date. Now, day is going to be giving you or identify the specific date or day from a specific date, okay? Let me just show it to you. I'm going to type in equal and type in, let's say, day. Click or open up the parentheses. Select on any of these cells. Let's say I'm going to use this and you will basically see it will give me 13 because this is November 13th, right? Now, we can use the same process to get the month too. I'm going to type in month. Open the parentheses, select on the cell, and it will give me 11. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with year. Select on this, close the parentheses, hit on enter, and you can see 13, 11, and 2023. Now, how does the date function works? Well, the date function is going to sum up all the data which you have in your cell, but it's going to identify its own cell. But even though if you have just values like this, let's say I'm going to type in 23, I'm going to type in 4, let's type in 2023. Then we're going to do the same process on this one too and this one too. So what we're going to do is going to be typing in equal, type in date. First off, select the year, then select the month, which is going to be this one. Okay, put in a comma after each value, comma, and this one. Close the parentheses, hit on enter, and you can see the same date has appeared right over here. Now, what if you do the same thing over here? Type in equal, date, and select all of them at once. Close the parentheses, hit on enter. Sometimes it's going to give you an error and sometimes it's going to work. Okay, you can see too many arguments for this specific function. So what you're going to do is do them individually. I'm going to do is put in a comma or maybe cut this off. I'm going to select on this comma and the month is going to be 4 comma and last is the date. Close the parentheses, hit on enter. I'm going to do is press on OK, and this will be the specific date. Now, what I'm going to do is click on this again and select on this. Let's say this is going to work. Date, hit on enter, and you can see 4/23/2023. Okay, so now you know how these functions work in Microsoft Excel. Now, what we're going to do is use, or let's say add or subtract in days from a specific date. Now, how are we going to do that? So just after each cells, or let's say after each date function you're going to use, you're just going to do is minus one data, or let's say minus one reference value from a specific cell. So let's just try doing that. We already have our cell from over here. I'm going to do is type in equal, type in, let's say, date, or maybe a day. Then after you put in your date function, you're going to do is just minus that value up. You can do it from over here, date, select the specific cell, close this off, or minus. Let's say I'm going to type in 5, close the parentheses, hit on enter, and you can see it will work, okay? But if it doesn't work, what you're going to do is cut this one off and put the minus outside of the bracket. Now, what we're going to do is going to be adding or subtracting months, or let's say days first, okay? I'm going to type equal and select the specific date. I'm going to do is click on this. Let's say I'm going to minus 4 days from it. So I'm going to click on minus and this, hit on enter, and you can see 4 days have been subtracted from that specific date which you're using as a reference. Now, if you want to add in 5, or let's say add in 4, I'm going to do is type in equal. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to do is click or add in a plus sign. And then I'm going to do is select on the specific cell, or even if you want to use, let's say, just a numerical value, type in that value, hit on enter, and it will give you a specific date. Okay, now you know how you can add in date, or let's say add in plus and minus to the specific date you're using as a reference. Now what we're going to do is add or subtract months. Now how are you going to do that? For this function, we have to use the function called edate. Okay, so I'm going to do is show it to you over here. I'm going to do is type in equal edate. Okay, then you're going to do is select the specific cell. And in the specific cell, you don't have to like add in, or let's say a plus sign or anything. You just have to select the reference cells and also the numerical value. Let's say I'm going to do is select on this. Okay, I'm going to do is put in the starting date and then the number of months. You can put in a comma. Now you can put in, let's say, numerical value. Let's I'm going to do is type in 6, close the parentheses, hit on enter, and you can see the value over here. If this appears in something like this, just click on general and then use short date or long date. That's like up to you. Now we're going to do is minus the value. Now how are you going to do that? What you're going to do is just put the same thing in between, but you have to put the numerical value, or let's say if you are using a reference cell, you have to put a minus sign before the number you are using. Let's say I'm going to type in equal. I'm going to type in edate. And after edate, let's say I'm going to use this one. Okay, I'm going to put in a comma. Let's say I'm going to put in -2. Close the parentheses, hit on enter, and there we go. You have the value. What you have to do is change the numerical value. Let's say I'm going to use short date, and there we go. This is 3 months now. Now we're going to do is going to be subtracting years or adding in years. We have to use the same function of edate, but this time you have to keep one thing in mind, that it's still going to count months. So you have to use the 12-month format. So let's say if you want to add 1 month, let's say 1 year, you have to put in 12 month. And then if you want to use 2 year, 24 month. Okay, so make sure to use that 24. Okay, now I'm going to do is type in equal edate. Now I'm going to use this specific value. I'm going to do is put in a comma, and then the month is going to be, let's say I'm going to add in a year or maybe 5 years. Okay, so you can also use like multiplication in between it, but I'm going to do is just type in 24 for 2 months. Close the parentheses, hit on enter, and there we go. You have our value. I'm going to use the same thing, short date, and there we go. It is 2026. Do the same thing for, subtracting the years. I'm going to type in equal edate, and then select the starting date, which is going to be this one, comma, -24. Close the parentheses, hit on enter, and there we go. We have our value. Change the format, short date, and there we go. The answer is 2021. So now you know about all the functions of date and also edate. So hope you understood everything in this lesson, and thank you for watching this video up till the end.